the latest look at your playoff bracket. All right, Eastern Conference Finals has one team, the New York Knickerbockers. No surprise here on the Western Conference Final side, OKC waiting to see who will be their opponent. That series between the Spurs and the Timberwolves now led by San Antonio, 3-2. But now we have Ant-Man and Ayo Dosunmu at the podium talking about how this one went down.
Hello. What would y'all identify as kind of the biggest problem tonight?
I think they had a lot of second chance points. I don't know, man. I got to go look at the film to really answer that question. But first thing that comes to mind is second chance points. I'm trying to find the offensive rebounds. I can't really find them.
27.
How many rebounds we had?
No, they
total?
had 11. They had 11.
They had 11
rebounds.
offensive rebounds. We had 10 offensive rebounds, so it's kind of even. But I think they converted on theirs more than we did.
And it's been a couple games now in a row with slow starts to the game. You guys have kind of been digging out of a hole at the start. What do you think has been going on just at the start?
I mean, tonight, some of the stuff that Wemby was doing, you don't really have too much of an answer for it. Just kind of hope he misses. But he came out high. He made a bunch of shots. I feel like we adjusted, fought back in the game, tried to dig ourselves out of the hole. But I mean, eventually they created another league and running out in transition. We got to get back, get matched up. Just game plan mistakes that we keep making, and it's too late in the series to make these mistakes.
Is it like going under guys on screens? Is it transition defense?
It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything. Not knowing the game plan, executing on offense. Like we know they're gonna come out and be physical defensively. We know how to go against that, and then us defensively, we know our coverage is what we're supposed to be doing when they're in pick and roll, and I think we're just not doing it enough.
Ayo, you guys fought back to tie the score in the third quarter, and then I think they outscored you 30-12 from that moment on. Where do you think that got off the rails for you guys? What maybe one or two things that happened there?
Like Ann said, I think a lot of it has to do with game plan mistakes. Just when you in a tight series like this, and 2-2 game on the road, any momentum, they feed off of that. So I just think that down the stretch, not even down the stretch, I think after we made a run, I was telling Ann it was tie game. I think he missed a jumper. And then we came down, gave up a 3, and it just went, down here from there in terms of them going on a run. But what I would say off the top of my head is game plan mistakes.
Anthony, you've played, I think, 40, 40, and 39 the last 3 games. You're about to get a 2-day break. How welcome is that within this series?
I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm ready to get 2 days. I mean, it's not going to really be a break, but it's going to be 2 days. I'm excited for it.
So you feel like the overall belief level, obviously you're down 3-2, you would have to come back here in a 7, but that you guys can kind of still climb out of this?
Yeah, I don't see nobody in the locker room that's too worried. At the end of the day, man, it's another basketball game. So you come out, put your boots on, and get ready to go to war.
Yes, is there a challenge to game plan disciplines you guys are talking about in a road environment that's maybe a little more difficult, whether it's the crowd noise affecting communication or things like that? It makes it maybe a little more difficult than maybe at home?
I can't really pinpoint like why we keep making the game plan mistakes. We just got to be better on it. Yeah, it's just that simple. We just got to be better at like whatever the coaches draw up for the game plan. We got to go out there and execute it at the highest level.
Ayo, this much like in Game 2, they blew the game open when Jaden McDaniels was in foul trouble. He goes out, and you guys were down by I think 18 at the end of the third quarter. Just what does it do for you guys when he's in foul trouble, and does it give them an advantage when he's resting like that?
Of course, he means so much to our team. I always get selfishly frustrated when he gets in foul trouble, just because his presence out there on the defensive end and being able to make plays and be aggressive. We need that So when he goes out in foul trouble, it hurts us because he means so much to our team. He's one of our anchors defensively, and he been in those positions before also. So yeah, he means a lot to our team for sure.
Anthony kind of mentioned what Wemby did early. Is that the type of energy y'all kind of expected from him coming out, considering what happened last game? And I guess from your perspective, how hard is that type of burst for him to contain?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best players in the league. So, I always say, playoff times, the best players, rise to the occasion. And at any given moment, they can, go off. You seen Ant last game, how he was able to erupt and get it. Once he gets it going, it's like it's hard to stop. And I think Wemby, he came out, with that same mindset. He made some easy ones, and then the basket started to look a little big for him. So I wouldn't say we expected it. We came into the game trying to win the game, and we understand what kind of player he is. So when you're a good player like that, at any given moment you can just break out.
Ant, 2 years ago, you were in this same situation. You lost Game 5 to Denver. You came back and won the series. What do you maybe draw from that experience, and how did you guys, looking back on it, kind of refocus, backs against the wall, and come back and get that series?
We know, like I said, the game plan. We know what we got to do in order to beat the team, and I think everything starts with Jaden McDaniels trying to keep him out of foul trouble, because he's so important to the team. He's so important to us. It hurts everybody when he gets in foul trouble, and some tough calls being made out there against him, man. So it's not too much we can say, but yeah, we try to avoid him getting in foul trouble, and if we can do that, we give ourselves a great chance to win the ball game.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Mitch, you guys came out of the locker room at halftime pretty slow, sluggish. What triggered that outburst there in the third?
Not sure, Tommy. We tried. I don't know. I got to watch the film back. I thought that we played with appropriate, which is hard to do, as we've learned in the first 10 games. I thought we played with the appropriate fear, discipline, execution, physicality, poise, and I thought we had it from an array of people tonight, and it was really good to see, and we needed everybody because at different moments of the game, different guys stepped up.
One of those guys obviously was Keldon, best game of the playoffs. What did you see from him?
As simple as it sounds, it just felt like he was being himself. He wasn't trying to do something or trying to be anything. He just played with energy. And as he's shown in his career, and most specifically this year, when he plays with that type of energy, the basketball finds him. He's in the middle of plays. He's in, gang rebound situations where there's multiple people, and he's a catalyst for that energy and that physicality and that dynamic of our team, and we need it.
Devin told us at shoot-around this morning that he expected to see upset Vic tonight coming out. Was that kind of an example of what upset Vic looks like, or at least determined Vic?
Yeah, I don't know what the word was. I think the one thing the one word I'd like to use just mature. I think there was a lot that's happened in the last 48 hours in the last game, and I think how that young man came out tonight and played in a variety of ways, in a variety of situations, not just in terms of his production, was extremely mature.
And then defensively, start to finish, what did you think about the performance? Another sub 100-point game in the playoffs for you guys.
I thought we did a good job of having resistance early in the clock. They've shown as the series gone on, they've tried to play faster at times, and they're tough when they get downhill. And I think when we've had better starting spots, more connectivity at the start of possessions, I think it's really helped us be on a string and be organized and connected defensively. And that helps you out when they have so many guys that get downhill and thrive at getting momentum in space.
Were De'Aaron and Dylan close to not playing, or was it a tough call at all? Or
it was close because I didn't know when I walked in the building if they were going to play. It was real. And I thought for that young rookie and De'Aaron, who hardly misses games ever, for those two guys to have performances like that was as strong as a statement for us in that locker room as victors. Different circumstances and obviously different attention from the external, which we understand, but for what those two guys did and when we know where they're at and what we needed, it's a big-time performance.
This series from both sides where leads are built and leads evaporate and it turns into a dogfight. I think y'all entered the fourth quarter up 18 and it never dropped below 11, went up as many as 29. You know, what did you make of their response and not letting that lead slip away or, you know, any part of the game get away from them?
Yeah, we had a few times where, and some of their runs also felt like we might have just missed a shot or two and it snowballed a little bit and we just didn't stay with it quite enough. And then whether they made a couple shots because they're a hell of a team and they're going to make shots, or we allowed it to seep in just even a little bit. That's how fast leads can evaporate. I thought we had a couple times tonight where we kind of drew the line and said enough was enough, whatever that meant. Sometimes that's making a shot. Sometimes that's setting the right screen. Sometimes that's blocking your guy out so your teammate can get a rebound. But there's a lot of little things that go into stopping runs and starting runs. And I think the more that we continue to commit to all of that, it'll really help us out.
Coach, during the playoffs, the emotions seem to be a lot more prominent, especially within the last 48 hours. So how do you coach emotional discipline without taking away the edge of what makes a player special?
You're referring to Victor, or in general?
In general, or Victor as well.
I think that our team has been in, even in these playoffs, a lot of different situations, and we played without Victor, and Victor's come back, you know, while missing a game or part of a game. And I think our group is very secure with where we're at and who they are. And I think when you have that with the level of fearlessness, you know, you may be lacking in some things like experience or in reference points in terms of what you're walking through, but we're very comfortable with who we are and where we're at, and we're going to continue to just try to lean into our habits and our, you know, execution that we go over every day and things about being connected and together.